Peter Alexander is joining me, our chief White House correspondent, with the news about President Pence. We've got a number of letters here between his representative to the National Archives and the National Archives. How did they find them?
Well, so, Andrea, we just obtained these two documents, two letters sent by the former Vice President Mike Pence's attorney to the National Archives. And I want to walk you through some of the details that we're learning. The first is dated January 18th. But according to this document, it says, following the reports about documents being found at the home of President Biden, that the office of the former Vice President, Mike Pence, did its own search. And on Monday, January 16th, they engaged their outside lawyers with experience in this process to do it. And according to one of the letters we received, they did discover records that appear to be, in their words, a small number of documents bearing classified markings that were, in the words of this letter written by the former vice president's attorney, inadvertently boxed and transported to the personal home of the former vice president at the end of the last administration. It goes on to say that Vice President Pence was, quote, unaware of the existence of sensitive or classified documents at his personal residence. As you note, his personal residence right now remains in Indiana. It says the vice president understands the high importance of protecting sensitive and classified information and stands ready and willing to cooperate fully with the National Archives and any appropriate inquiry. So a couple things to try to digest right now. First, we heard about former President Trump, who refused to detail any of this, provided some documents. Then there was a search warrant that was executed where they found 103 documents. Then it was about President Biden, who initially didn't detail any of the discovery that was made until it was first reported by the media. And then there's been the drip, drip, drip of new revelations, but they did go immediately to the National Archives. And here it was only after media reports that we then heard from the office of Mike Pence. They didn't come to the media to be public about it. They went to the National Archives, exactly what the President Joe Biden did as well. But it just adds another layer to this story. And notably, the former Vice President Mike Pence in recent weeks has been very critical about the handling of the investigation into President Biden right now, and basically has suggested that there's a double standard between the handling of the investigations of both the former president, President Trump, and Joe Biden.
And this only came out because of a media leak.
That's exactly right. There was a leak within the last hour, and within the last 30 minutes or so, we obtained these two documents between the lawyer for the former vice president and the National Archives. We'll keep reading through, and we'll give you more info as we gather it.